When you hear that Buster H.R. Oh, man, it's about to go down. You feel the tension in the air. Wrestling fans all over the world, get ready for this right here. They're gonna have a field day with this one. You're about to witness Buster Unmasked! Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! There's no telling what Buster's gonna say today. We just getting started. Just getting started! Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Hosted by Buster H.R. Johnson. This is a Buster H.R. exclusive. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. You are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Buster Unmasked!
All right, y'all, we're here. I hope we're live and you're watching Buster Unmasked. Listen, let me know out there if we're live on Facebook, y'all. I had a thing pop up. It popped up. It says having trouble streaming. I don't know where. So let me know if we're live on Facebook. We got a great show for you guys tonight. I got a great guest. Should be funny as hell. Should be interesting. There's no telling what might be said. But before we get there, y'all know that the KAW show, April 12th, Trenton, Tennessee. The very first show, KAW returns. Bell time 2:30 p.m. I dropped the first match graphic today, and here it is. We got the big bull from the woods, Cordell Roberts, facing off against CT. Don't play Jordan. And let me just say this. This should be one hell of a matchup. These are both big guys, both hard-hitting. Good deal. We are live, y'all. We are live on Facebook. So I don't know what the hell's going on with StreamYard. Let's hope we stay that way. But look, man, this is going to be one hell of a matchup at KAW. No pun intended, but this is going to be like putting two big bulls in a china cabinet. And I can promise you, some shit is going to get broke, y'all. There's no doubt about that. That's Sunday, April 12th, 2:30 p.m.'s bell time. Doors open at 1:30. All seats $10. All seats $10. First come, first serve. So get there early because you don't want to miss a thing. It's going to be fun. And starting this Wednesday, these KAW originals have been sending me some videos in. Man, they're all fired up about the KAW return. So Wednesday, when I have Devin Graves on here at 7 p.m., we're going to air the first video from some of the KAW's originals. You don't want to miss that. But right now, folks, it's all about my guest tonight and Wildcard Wrestling. Let me just say this. This man is a second-generation professional wrestler. His dad, Easy Rider, well-respected legend around our area. This man grew up around the wrestling business his whole life. He's got 2 decades in himself, and he is now the current booker of Wildcard Wrestling, and Wildcard Wrestling is doing some big things. Without any further ado, I bring to you Zane Richards. Zane.
Hey, brother, what's happening?
What is up, dude?
You know how it is, enjoying life.
Man, I am so glad to get you here. I don't think me and you've actually talked in person, or as in person as this is, since probably 2007, man.
Man, I think the last time I seen you in person, you was running Paragould National Guard Armory.
Right? That was 2007, man.
Yep.
It's been
Yeah, I was still young pup pretty much then to the business.
Man, think about that. It's been 19 years ago.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Time has flown by, man. Look, we know what we're here to talk about, man. Y'all got a bunch of big shows coming up, but y'all got this fighting cancer show. It's a benefit for Jimmy Wayne Householder, and we know we're here to talk about Wildcard Wrestling. But before we get there, Zane, tell everybody out here that may not know you. I'm sure most of the people on here know exactly who you are, but for the ones who may not, tell us a little bit about Zane Richards. Tell us a little bit about growing up in the wrestling business, man, and how you got to where you are today, dude.
Man, my dad was Easy Rider. He wrestled for 33 years. When I was growing up wrestling, it was like one of them childhood dreams, but I got to live it with my dad. But, when I was coming up, you had people like Cecil Hedge, and you had Motley Crue, and you had Sarge O'Reilly, and you had Chris Rocker and them, and you had the Hanson family, Tim Hanson and Phil Hanson and Garth and Gary Diamond. In my opinion, I grew up in the good era of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up where you wrestled on Friday night and couldn't wait for Saturday to do it again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, with people like Freezer Thompson and yourself and Ron McClarty, who else was it? The Blonde Bombers, stuff like that. I grew up in that era. I call it the golden era of wrestling. That's when gimmicks was a thing.
Right.
And I always wanted to get into wrestling, and my dad had a wrestling school in Zenith, Missouri. Him and Freezer Thompson did. And me, my brother, Donald Wadley, Psycho, everybody knows Psycho. God rest his soul, we lost him in 2019.
Right.
Then James Hyman and Matt Smith, we all trained together at the same time. And, Freezer Thompson, God rest his soul, I love him. Can't believe he's gone. My dad showed us the traditional, like, old school wrestling stuff, and Freezer was right there. Then he would have, like, special guests pop into the trainings. We trained every Sunday from 12 to 2. Rain, sleet, or snow, we trained. And like the cruisers popped up and they helped do some training. So I did the training school, but I was so young, I kind of got the shitty end of the deal because I had to train for 3 years straight before I could ever do anything in the business.
It ain't like that today. Today, if the minute you turn 13 or 14, you're in the business if you're training, man. So I fully understand that. How old were you when you actually got to step in the ring, Zane?
I was like 11 going on 12, and we was at a show, and Phil Hanson was running Rampage Wrestling at the time. You remember Rampage?
I do remember Rampage Wrestling. Me and Eddie Little just had a conversation on the phone about Rampage Wrestling. Believe it or not, about 5 days ago, man, we were talking about Rampage Wrestling.
So we did a show. It was in Wiener, Arkansas, and Phil needed a referee, and he talked to my dad because, I've always been a big boy,
Right.
Hell, in high school, I was 6'1", 250, 260 pounds. I've always been big. So Phil asked my dad about me reffing on TV, and my dad told him. My dad's like, he's never did it. And the only thing Phil Hanson looked at me and said, he said, look, kid, he said, the only thing I'm telling you is if they don't get their shoulders up, count their asses out.
There you go, man. That's the way it should be.
And I don't know how many spots I blew on TV from doing that.
Hey, that ain't your fault, though. If they don't get their shoulders up, that's their fault. If they're not supposed to lose.
What?
I said, if they're not supposed to lose, that's on them.
No, but I mean, even the referee thing, man, like I was living on cloud nine, like I was going to junior high school and none of my friends knew I was into wrestling. Then we had a baseball game and a kid named Ben Mitchell, I walked in the classroom and he said, I seen you this weekend. I was like, no, you didn't. I went to town. He said, yeah, we all seen you on TV as a referee. So they let the cat out of the bag. So and then it got where my whole baseball team would come to the shows. Like we would do Malden, Missouri. They would show up to the shows, or right doing Jonesboro for Rampage, they would show up to the shows and they would watch the shows.
Right, man. And your cover was blown after that, huh?
Oh yeah, I couldn't go nowhere. Everywhere I went to school, like when we went and played baseball games, I'd come up to bat. They'd be like, "He's a pro wrestler. He's a pro referee." And
hey, and this is back when. I mean, this is back when it's still there was somewhat an era of kayfabe left. So,
yeah.
So how was that? Because I know how kids are. I know they pestering you and question you. How'd you handle that, man?
Well, I mean, like they would come to the shows. Like when I started wrestling, they'd come to the shows that I was a greenhorn, so I'd carry an ass whooping. And then I'd go to the school and they'd be like, "Oh, like we watched Zane get beat up with a chair this weekend," and then we actually had an incident where the school called my parents because, oh, well, that's child abuse.
Wow, I ain't never heard this story, so you got to go on and tell us this now, Zane.
Was okay, so my dad was on the fire department, and I went to school, and I had got color. Motley took care of me. Love Motley Cruz. Motley took care of me. I went to school, but I was kind of scratched up, and they're like, "Oh, what happened?" And everybody's like, "Oh, he wrestles on the weekends. He got beat up like with some trash cans and stuff and with some chairs." Well, I had to go to the office and kind of explain to them what was going on. And they called and had a conversation with my dad about it because they was going to have to report it as child abuse.
Right.
So we literally had to go and break it down for the principal of the school and the superintendent. They're like, "Hey, right here's the way wrestling works. He's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's going through these motions and it's a hands-on sport." But my dad had to explain to him like the working side of it.
Y'all like Jerry Lawler trying to get the athletic commission to leave wrestling alone, huh?
Hey, something. Then I went through a bunch of stuff with that. Like when I was wrestling in Missouri and stuff, was the hassle I had to get a Missouri wrestling license at my age. You know, my mom and dad had to fill out a paper and have it signed by a notary public before the state of Missouri would give me a wrestling license.
Yeah, Missouri's still strict as hell to this day. Missouri's one of the strictest states, but that's why you don't have an overrun of wrestling companies, just one right after the other 10, 15 miles up the road from each other, is because it costs a lot of money to run wrestling in Missouri, man. They're so strict. They still show up at all the shows. There's a commissioner at every show that goes on in Missouri. There's a commissioner there.
Oh, for sure. And, for the longest time when I was growing up, from time I was like, I had my first match when I was 15 years old. I wrestled. My brother Psycho gave me my wrestling name, Zane Richards. I had my first match in Woodland Mills, Tennessee for Killer from MSWA against J.R. Rich.
Damn, that's been a while, man. I didn't realize.
What?
I didn't realize Killer was still running at that time, man.
Oh yeah, dude. That's when MSWA was alive and kicking. They was doing their Sunday shows in Gibson, Tennessee. Then we was working like Dresden and Milan and places like that. But that was like me, Kilo, Citizen Kane, Tommy Redneck, Rudin Tully was there. Miles Long was there. You know what I'm saying? Like that was back in the day.
Right. Yeah. Look, Killer ran that show for years and years and years. Packed the house damn near every Sunday, man.
Yeah.
That's the old place where it had them long ass steps. The dressing room was upstairs, man. If you didn't watch out, you'd bust your ass going out of the dressing room down to the ring, man.
Yeah, you was up on the stage and the stairs for some reason was like at a pitch like this.
Man, you almost had to turn around backwards and climb down them like a ladder.
But I mean, even at a young age, man, I had so many good experiences. Like we was going to Memphis for River City Hardcore with Motley and Tasha. I was doing Peppermint Pond with Motley on the weekends. I'd actually go down there and train with Motley. And then I would train with Motley that morning at Peppermint Pond, and I would leave there, and I would go work MSWA shows or who else was running at the time I was working for? Citizen Kane. I was doing shows for Citizen Kane in Dover, Tennessee. Did a bunch of stuff in Missouri for the Cooks, Michael Cook and them.
Right. I ain't heard. Look, man, I'm going to tell you something, man. The first time I ever seen Mike Cook and Willie D. Charisma, do you remember Willie D. Charisma?
Yep.
Okay, I seen these two dudes the first time I'd ever met either one of them, man. And these two dudes had the most softcore, hardcore wrestling match I've ever seen in my life. Zane, I ain't kidding you. It was almost like it was in slow motion, and both of them great fucking workers. But I don't know what was going on during this match, man. But I'm sitting there in the back and shit, I think I'm tripping. It's going so slow, Zane. But both dudes, man, I hadn't heard of Mike Cook in a long time, and believe it or not, ever so often I'll get a message from Willie D. Out of the blue. Every so often I get, "What's up, man? What are you doing?" And you know, then I might not hear from him for 5-6 months, a year.
You know what I learned from Michael Cook in my whole time wrestling? Is that there really is a man out there that will offer you a hot dog and a soda for your work.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that, man, without a doubt, man.
For sure. Hey, he booked me on a show at a fair, and we went and did this show at this fair, and Daddy was doing a show in Dyersburg at the time. He was working for Motley at the Pond. And so Dad tells Mike, he's like, yeah, he can ride with you. Just make sure he's okay. He's taken care of. We wrestled the show, and no bullshit, these motherfuckers left me in that town and left.
They just forget you? Or
they
was it a real?
About me. I had to call my mom and daddy to come and pick me up.
How long was it before your dad let you take that ride with somebody else again, man?
It had to be people that he trusted.
Y'all forgot my son?
Yeah,
this
they
ain't
left.
a real. Y'all forgot my son?
Everybody had changed. We worked the main event. The guy I was working was going to another show. He was double shot, so he just kept his gear on and took off. While I'm getting dressed, they had already loaded everything up because after the match was over, we did the little fair thing and got with the crowd and signed autographs. While I go to change, I come out and they was gone. So, man, but I mean, and I'm like, I step back from when I started and I watch these, like the newer generation, and I'm like, I don't know if a bunch of them could have made it back then.
Man, I have that same thoughts a lot of times. Look, Zane, we got a lot of people in here with us. We got Luke Justice, Lynette Marie's in here, Mark McGee, Eric Hayes. Eric Hayes has got a question. Let me run through these other names. On Deck with Titanic's in here. Cameron McGraw's in here. John Douglas, Matt Bowman Jr. You know Matt real well. You know all these guys real well. Wesley Adams is in here. Jennifer Justice. Jackson Seaton's in here. Alexa Jade. Brian Rogers is in here. But I appreciate all you guys tuning in, man. Zane's got a ton of knowledge and some great stories. I can tell when you're a kid and get left at the show. I mean, damn, that's funny as hell, Zane. But look, Eric Hayes wants to know about a benefit at UCW. I'm assuming you know exactly what he's talking about, man.
Listen, I've been doing this for 23 years, and I have only did one show in 23 years, especially a benefit show where everybody's always invited to wrestle. And somehow Eric Hayes managed to get me and him kicked off the show and out of the building for life.
Damn! Eric, what the hell did you do, man? What'd he do, Zane?
Oh, man, so we do our match, and they put us against some greenhorns. Good kids, though. Well, Eric beat the one kid up with a chair for like 5 minutes. Then after the match is over, we get back, and they did a pie in the eye thing, and a lady paid $100 to pie me.
Damn.
So we're on the stage. They hand the lady the pie, and she's got the pie reared back, and I scream for Eric. And Buster, I kid you not, Eric's little 5'8", 300-pound ass jumped over the stage, grabbed the pie, and pied this lady in the face and shagged ass out of that building at 300 mile an hour.
Damn.
And I turn around and I look at the lady. She's covered in whipped cream. And I'm every MFer in the book. Eric's a sorry piece of shit. We're everything but white men. In this building full of kids, we're getting the bird flicked at us. She's throwing shit at us. And the lady that ran, I'm not going to say her name because I don't have no problem with her. She come to me and Eric and she was like, "You are no longer welcome here." It was me, him, and Cheeseburger, Addison Kane. Told us we was no longer welcome there and that we need to leave and never come back on her property.
So I'm assuming you didn't get the $100, huh?
No, we got cussed out on Facebook by the lady for like a month afterwards. Hey, this lady went as far as she called around till she found out where Eric worked his shoot job at, and then sent him his work address and his home address and told us she was going to kill us.
Hey, Eric's a bad damn influence, man. I can tell that already, man. He's bad
Hey,
influence
listen,
in the wrestling business.
Eric Hayes is my brother. We've been doing this since we was little kids together. My dad and Ricky did it together. We rode in the bike club together. I trust Eric with my life. There ain't nothing and his wife, Jess, people that hasn't met Jess is when I say this, I mean all words. Jess is a saint. She'll take the shirt off her back and give it to you in the freezing rain. They're just all around general good people. The whole family, Ricky and Karen, Chris, all of them. It's a hell of a family, and anybody that's friends with Eric Hayes should be proud to say they're his friend.
And they're one of the wrestling royal families right here around West Tennessee too.
Oh, for sure.
There's a few of them around, but the Hayes is definitely one of the wrestling royal families around here around West Tennessee. All of them. I mean, the whole family wrestlers, man. They just like you grew up in the business too. So, and Eric's a good dude, man. Always, every time I've seen Eric, man, it's nothing but laughs. I've been trying to get him, his brother, and his dad on a podcast together for about 2 years now, and eventually we're gonna make it happen. But you know
why they don't do it, don't you?
Why?
They know Ricky's going to outshine them like he does now.
Say the boys are a little worried, huh?
Yeah, they know. Chris and Eric knows when Pops comes out of retirement, baby, it's a show.
Autumn Nicole's up in here. She says, "Oh, Zane."
That's my niece.
Autumn, man. Girl, you perfect for KAW. I'm going to say it right here, right now, out loud. Have this baby. Get ready to get in the ring, man. I got a million ideas for you at Kick-Ass Wrestling, Autumn. And I put that right out right now in the public, girl. Autumn's a fucking rock star when she's on. Let me say that. Autumn's one of the very best workers around our area. And I'm including, I'm not just saying female workers. I'm saying very best workers around our area, male or female. Autumn's a rock star when she's on. You know, there ain't no doubt about that. Zach O'Brien's in here with us. He's flipping you off or me off, probably both of us. There ain't no telling.
Was that cookie from both of us?
I guess so, man. I guess it was.
No, I love Zach. He's a good friend of mine too, outside the business, inside the business. And Zach's actually going to come and do some work for Wildcard here soon, and we can't wait to get him on board.
Well, let's talk about Wildcard. That's what we're here to do. Look, I'm going to say it right now. I want to get you back by yourself sometime maybe end of May, 1st of June, so we can go through the family lineage and the whole thing. We know what we're here to do today, man. We're talking about Wildcard Wrestling. I'm going to say it straight up. Wildcard Wrestling, it's been around, I want to say, probably 3 years now. Had a couple of false starts over those years, but, man, now it seems to be really taking off and gaining some momentum, and now you're part of it. How did you become part of Wildcard Wrestling before we get into it?
Well, okay, everybody knows that when Donald died, Psycho died in 2019, I quit wrestling. That was my brother. My dad was gone. My brother was gone. And it was something we did. Me, Psycho, and Pappy traveled the roads together. The whole Jumpsuit Mafia family, we all traveled the roads together. And when my brother passed away, I didn't see no need in doing it no more. You know, my dad was gone. My brother was gone. Then, you know, I've known Mark for years. Me and Mark tagged together as the Riot Squad. I worked for Mark and Mike and FTW, and I've known Luke since he was a little kid. And me and Luke started talking. He was like, we want to.
Damn, we lost him. He'll be back on. What's up, Donnie? I see you in here. Zach, I don't know who you're talking about, man. Ain't no nut sucking going on around here, man. Let's give Zane a couple seconds and see if he gets back on here. Autumn's back in here. Thank you very much. I'll get in contact once I'm no longer held hostage. Girl, as soon as you get ready, reach out to me for real. I'm dying to have you at Kick-Ass Wrestling. All right, Zane, you might have to pop out completely and log back in. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go plug my sponsors right quick while we're waiting to see if Zane gets logged back in, y'all. For all of your breaking news, sports, and weather in and around the Jackson, Tennessee, and the West Tennessee area, be sure to tune in to 101.5 FM or 103.5 FM. You can also log in to talkinwesttennessee.com. That's TALKNWESTTN.com or newstalk1035.com. For all of your in-home care and consumer direct services in and around the Caruthersville, Missouri area, be sure to call Glowing Hearts at 573-643-2537. Their priority is caring for you and your family. Be sure to check out the Boot Hill Sports Network on YouTube for all of your sports news and live local games in and around the Missouri Boot Hill. That's BOOTHEEL. That's the Boot Hill Sports Network on YouTube. The Boot Hill Sports Network is also the home of American Hostile Championship Wrestling and the Unified Wrestling Alliance every single Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Professional wrestling just the way you like it. All right, y'all. Zane's back in here. We got you back, dude.
Okay, Bubba. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. But when Bubba passed away or whatever, I got out of the business. Luke called me and he was like, we want to put you in the Wildcard Hall of Fame. So I went and did the show and they inducted me into it. And Luke and Mark asked me how I'd feel about taking the books over on the show. You know, because right, thing, I'm not going to stay here and cut bones and be like, da-da-da. Luke and Matt made some mistakes. They're a couple young kids trying to jump into business both feet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they really didn't know what they was doing. So they made some mistakes and made some enemies along the way. And I've been trying to mend fences. And I'm not going to lie, when I come to Wildcard, the night that they inducted me into the little Hall of Fame, there might have been 20 people there. That was 4 shows ago.
Right.
From 4 shows ago till now, my last 3 shows have been 150, 100, 110 crowd-wise.
Right. I've noticed the audience was, damn, y'all. There he goes again. The audience has really picked up for Wildcard Wrestling. I do know that much. Like I said, there was a couple of false starts for Wildcard from the time they started, but it feels like Wildcard's really doing good right now. They've had some big names come in. There seems to be a consistency to the crowds now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you good, Zane.
Okay, it kicked me out again. But so Luke brought me in. I kind of went through some talent, kept some, got rid of some. Bringing in new talent. Autumn, after Autumn has a baby, she's going to come work with me. I got Alexis Jade. She works for me. Jennifer Justice works for me. Kudos to Jennifer. If you book a show and you got a chance to book Jennifer Justice on your show, book her.
Hey, man, I'll tell you this. I've noticed Jennifer has really turned it on lately. Probably, I guess, the last 5 or 6 months. I've noticed such a big change in Jennifer, man. She's getting in excellent shape. She's starting to pop up all over the place at a bunch of different wrestling promotions. Jennifer's a 20-year vet in this business too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I remember riding the shows with Jennifer and Psycho in the front seat of a single cab S10 everywhere when I was a kid.
Right. Any show that you got Jennifer Justin is on, she's an asset to any show she's on. Simple as that.
Oh, for sure. And then, like, I brought in, like, Citizen Kane. I brought him in. Kane's 30-year worker. Did Southern Pride for years with Kilo. Did Southern Breed with Ty Blade. Big over in Kentucky. Big around Tennessee. I brought him in. I got the Fury Jason Bond. I got Luke working the show. Like, I'm starting to get a good roster together. But I run the show old school. Like, I don't tolerate no bullshit.
I seen that the other day, man. I seen you. I guess it's been a couple of weeks ago now, maybe even 3 or so, when you were on live. I seen you live, dude. And, I agree with it, man. It's the best way to do it, man. If you ain't going to do your job, it's time for you to go.
Yeah, because I mean, it's stupid me saying this, but a lot of these I call them fly by night guys. It's guys I just bring in and I'll use once or twice to send them on their way. But I mean, it's best said like wrestling. You know, wrestling's a business, but I treat them like it is. You know, I tell everybody, you know what you pay a whore for? You pay her to give you some and leave.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? But I still treat everything old school. Like I still got old school ways. Like no bullshit. The first time I walked in a Wildcard dressing room, there wasn't nobody in the dressing room except Luke and Mark that walked up and shook my hand. All these young kids sitting in the chair just staring at you, wanting to know what you got going on. None of them introduced themselves or anything. Back in my day, you would have been smacked in the mouth 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you'd have definitely been escorted right back out of the dressing room for sure.
So
Without
I mean,
no doubt about that.
I still treat the show since I took it over the same way. When you come in the dressing room, you greet everybody in the dressing room. I have a meeting before every show. I read off the call list, uh, you know, times and everything. I do all that old school, same way as we used to.
I think it's good for Wild Card because, I mean, I don't know Matt. I've never met Matt in person. Obviously, we all know Luke. And Luke's a veteran in the ring and around the business, but I don't think he's quite ready yet to be running the show in the back. You know what I mean? The maturity. And look, I can't say nothing bad about Luke because I have to admit over the last year and a half or so, Luke's kept his ass out of trouble where he used to stay in trouble constantly. Used to have heat the whole time, but he's doing good about that. I think he's settling down some. And like I said, I've never met Matt, and I don't really know nothing about Matt whatsoever. I know him and Matt were working their ass off, though, hustling, trying to make Wildcard become something.
Yeah, and I give it to him. I mean, a little background on Matt. Matt Bowman Sr., everybody knows him around here, is the Rat Trap. He was a referee around Tennessee and Missouri and Arkansas for years and years and years. That's Matt's dad, and Matt just took after his dad. But instead of doing his business around here, he was down in Florida doing refereeing for ALW and different companies around Florida. He just now kind of migrated back this way.
Right. Look, man, I mean, before you got on board, they were starting to do some things, do some bigger things. The show was already starting to build momentum. I just feel like, you know how it is. You need a captain to captain the ship sometimes. Yeah. You know, and that's just the way it is.
And the biggest problem with the show that I seen when I got there is, man, you had 20 chiefs and 1 Indian.
Man, and you know, you ain't getting nothing done like that. You ain't getting nothing accomplished. Everybody's doing what the fuck they want to do, not doing what the fuck they're supposed to do, man. And I've seen a big change in the show since you've come along. Y'all have had some big people come in. I mean, y'all had Austin Aries, what, a month ago?
Oh, yeah, we had Austin Aries, Chase Stevens, and Richard Holiday. Man, Austin Aries, he's so knowledgeable, you know, which he's got years in the business. But for his age, he's world-renowned worker. He's one of the better people that I worked with. He gave you honest criticism, which I like that because you don't learn shit people beating around the bush or sugarcoating everything.
Right.
But he was a pleasure to work with. And then me and Chase Stevens go way back. I love Chase to death. So it was good to see him. And then Richard Holiday was Richard Holiday. I just, I'll leave it at that. But, man, yeah, I think for the best part, Wildcard's starting to take off. Like, we're getting blew up with messages and it's not local guys. Man, we're getting blew up from dudes from Florida and South Carolina and Georgia. We got dudes from Texas getting a hold of us. I got 3 messages today on my messenger. Hey, do y'all have any spots open? Like, are y'all taking anybody new?
Right.
And we're gonna open some doors and bring some new people in and see how our crowd reacts to them. Because we've proven that we can draw a crowd with our normal crew, and that's what I want to do. If you can't draw a crowd with your normal crew and you got to pay people to come in all the time and get a crowd, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you ain't doing nothing anyway. You just spinning your wheels, and you're really going in debt because, I mean, let's be honest. How often does the guys that you bring in actually make enough money for you to make a profit? Most
Well, I
of the
mean,
time,
I won't sit here and lie. I won't cut no bones and try to bullshit it. We brought Austin Aries in, and literally Luke standing right here in my kitchen beside me, and Matt standing right here looking at me too. They'll tell you Austin Aries didn't draw us no more people. He
that's
didn't
what
draw no more people at all. Yes, he was a great asset to the show, and he put on a good seminar. But the day before the show, and him and Luke had an amazing match. But he didn't bring no more money into the show.
And see, we agree on that. I agree that, man, if you're running an indie show and you're starting up an indie show, you need to build your own roster of homegrown talent that are loyal to you, and you know you can count on, because, I mean, you can't bring Austin Aries in every week. And the sad fact is, no matter how great a person he is, how great a wrestler he is, how great the seminars are, if it don't turn into profit for you guys, if he don't make his money back and then y'all some profit, it's a waste of time doing it, no matter who it is. I don't care how much you might. A lot of promoters tend to book people that they watched and idolized when they were kids, no matter what they cost. And the way I look at it, if I'm going to book somebody, the first thing I'm going to do is think about, are they going to put any more people in my building than I've already going to have? And if so, then you got to take their PO and start. If it's $10 a ticket, it's a $400 PO. They got to put at least 40 more people in there than you were going to have. Plus, you need to make a profit, so they need to put 50 or 60 more people in there than you're going to have. You were going to have anyway. And I think that hurts a lot of promoters, because they get them stars in their eyes and they want to book this talent. But if the talent don't do the job you need to do, it's best to work off your own talent and build your own guys. It's better to make $100 profit off your own talent than it is to lose $1,000 bringing somebody in.
That was perfectly said, because exactly what I told Luke and him when I went to work there. I said, if it's not making the show money, it's not use. There's no use in doing it. You can only run so much on your own dime before you just run out.
Right. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a learning experience for Matt and Luke, and they took a lot from it. Luke, I feel like Luke, wrestling wise, is up there with anybody else around here. Like, to me, Luke's wrestling capabilities is same as Chris Rocker's or Aaron Robertson or Tattoo and them. You know, I would take Luke anywhere and put him against any of them guys, because he's at that level they are. But like you said, as in booking wise, he's more of like a Tommy Boy or a James Wiggins or a J.R. Rich.
Well, here's the thing. I've told Luke over and over the last few years, man, stop trying to promote wrestling and start concentrating on being a wrestler. Luke can fucking wrestle. Luke's a good looking kid when he gets himself and keeps himself in shape. Luke could be a star for anybody, anywhere. A year or two ago, he was going up north and wrestling in either New Jersey or New York.
Yeah.
And man, I caught a few of those matches on YouTube. Man, Luke got over up there, worked his ass off up there. Looked as good or better than the guys that were already up there. Luke's a hell of a talent, man.
For sure.
Luke's a star if you can ever get him to stay in that one place. You know what I mean?
We're kind of getting him lined out. Me and Luke started doing some tag stuff together. We're going to get some bookings. We got some bookings over in Kentucky. We got a booking down for Clarksville, Tennessee, the 6th of April, or the 4th of April, my bad. We got a booking in Clarksville, Kentucky, the 4th of April. It's going to be a real good show. Me and him's going to do some road stuff together, try to throw some knowledge on him about the road and taking, bookings away from home. Because I tell everybody, even the people that works for me, I tell them, like, don't be a one-show superstar. If you're a young talent, you got to get yourself out there in the forefront. You got to jump on all these shows and travel if you ever want to do anything about it. Because here's the thing. At the end of the day, WWE or AEW or TNA ain't going to pull up to Rector, Arkansas to see what we got going on.
Right. And I'm glad you said Rector, because I think moving from Dice was a smart move. Getting out of Dice and going to Rector, I think that was the first real smart move that Luke and them made, because I mean, honestly, what's the population of Dice? About 300 and some people.
I've lived around here my whole life, and I never even heard of Dice until they said something.
I think that was the first smart, because that was when they first booked Dice and they said it was going to be there every week. That's the first thing I thought, man. I thought, man, Dice ain't got, but hell, you could draw everybody in Dice and not have 400 people, you know?
Yeah. Well,
so,
and a lot of the thing with that's when me and Luke and Mark and them sit down and Matt sit down, I told him my big thing is I don't like stepping on people's nuts. To me, Dice is MCW's neck of the woods. And we're working our side of the neck of the woods now. We're trying not to step on toes. We're trying not to do the Dices and the Tuckermans and the Trumans. We're trying to be like Rector and Piggott and Corning and Pocahontas, places like that. Stay on our end of the spectrum and build our crowd up. We don't want to go work. I don't want to go run Dice and us draw a crowd because MCW was there, or us go draw a crowd and MCW run and them have a crowd. I want to be able to show that Wildcard Wrestling can draw a crowd without having another show have to come in before us.
Right. Well, y'all shows, man, they've really started taking off, man. I mean, y'all were starting to draw before the Austin Aries seminar and that whole weekend, but it seems like since then your crowds are holding. That's what I was worried about. I seen that the crowd was bigger when Aries and those guys were there than it normally is. And I was worried that it was going to fall off once they were gone. And I was glad to see that when I seen the next show pop up and the footage, that it looked like all that crowd stayed with you guys. And I think y'all might have even added a few people. And that's what it's all about. If you can add 2 or 3 people a show, 2 or 3 extra fans a show.
We try to change some stuff up. You know, like we have a bunch of vendors show up to our show. Mimi Sweet Treats comes. She does candied fruits. Scared City Haunted House, they set a booth up at our show and are even talking about bringing a rec room. They got a mini rec room they can set up and the kids can get in there and destroy stuff before the show starts. So we try to switch stuff up. And then, man, what helps us the most is Wildcard Wrestling has hands down the best sponsors. You know, we got Tinsley's Excavating and Dumpster Reynolds. Our very own commissioner, Corey Petty, is the owner of Grateful Heads in Portersville, Missouri. We got Brian Norvell, Little Norvell Racing out of Paragould, Arkansas, sponsors our show. Mohawk Garage, and they sponsor our show. M&M Karaoke, SDM Pawn Shop. Them's all amazing sponsors, and they ride with us till the wheels fall off. They'll call us. Trent and Patterson's Auto Sale here in Kennett. He's a wrestling fanatic. His boys think wrestling is, it's the shit with them. So he'll get a hold of us. Hey, y'all got shows coming up. So we went from going and searching for sponsors to now we have sponsors hit us up and be like, hey, we see y'all got this card made for this benefit. Or we see y'all put a card out for April the 3rd. Do y'all have room for another sponsors? Our 13th and 14th show, hell, we had like 14 sponsors.
Yeah, you can't beat that, man. Sponsors go a long way. And I mean, treat your sponsors right. I see so many companies get sponsors and then screw their sponsors over. And then that makes it hard for the next guy to come along because, I mean, once you've been screwed over by wrestling, you kind of lump it all together. You know,
yeah, what's crazy is like we go to some businesses and they'll be like, oh, man, like this guy coming, we sponsored him $500 and they screwed us out of everything and didn't even advertise our name. And we're like, oh, wow. But they don't want to sponsor no more. So, like, we offer our sponsors, let's see, Little Norvell Racing out of Paragould, Arkansas. They do a bunch of drag racing, which everybody knows I'm a racing fanatic when it comes to wrestling. But, like, they sponsor us. They get 4 tickets to the show. They get advertisement on all shows, all of our posters, all of our Facebook, stuff like that, our pages. Like, they get any kind of advertisement. Our sponsors are there. Our sponsors get announced throughout the shows. And then, like with our Scared City Haunted House sponsor, he's also a good friend of ours. So anytime he needs a couple of us to come to his venue and do something to his venue, I send guys there. You
Right.
know, same thing with Grateful Heads. We got an event coming up for Grateful Heads where I'm going to send 3 or 4 of my guys down there, and they're going to spend a day, and they're going to do autographs, and we're going to try to get some shirts made and give out some Wildcard shirts just to give back to our fans.
That's what it's all about right there, man. That networking, that working good with your sponsors, being able to compromise, make things happen. That's what it's all about, man. And look, this Friday night, man, are y'all running Friday and Saturday this week?
No. We only got this Friday.
Okay, I'm fixing to switch us over, Zane, and we're gonna pull up the graphic for the Jimmy Wayne Householder Benefit Show, man. Let me get us switched around.
I got you. You got that poster on your phone? Bring it up and sit right here.
So talk to us about Jimmy Wayne first. Tell us kind of what he's going through and what issues he's got, and then talk to us about how this show came to be, Zane.
Man, Mr. Jimmy is from Richter. I have not met anybody. Luke will tell you, Matt will tell you, we have not met anybody that has a harsh word to say about that man. They all speak so highly of him and his wife. What I took of it, he went hunting, come home, got really sick, had to go to the hospital, and they found out he had cancer in his lung, was it? And they had to take his lung.
Oh, man.
And pretty much told him he was good to go. Then he got real sick again and went back and found out that the cancer had spread through his ribs.
Oh, man.
He's had to pretty much quit his job because he's been staying sick. His wife reached out to us. Amazing woman. Talking to her, I've not got to meet her in person yet. Talking to her on the phone. She's probably one of the kindest people I've ever talked to. And she is madly in love with her husband. They've been together for years. They got a child together. She is madly in love with him. And she expressed how she feels about what's going on with him. And, you know, she pretty much just told me she wouldn't know what to do if she lost him.
Right. I can understand that.
It's one of the things where my wife lost her grandma to cancer. So we feel very strongly about it in my house.
Man, my mom, back in 2014, she was diagnosed with stomach cancer, but it was so far gone by the time they found it. Man, from the day she got diagnosed till the day she passed was 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Man, it happened that fast, but it was so far gone. She tried chemo. It was just so far gone. The chemo made her sicker than she was without taking it. And it wasn't, within 3 months, man, she passed. So I understand how that fight cancer, man. I mean, it can come out of nowhere, and it comes for everybody. It don't discriminate whatsoever against anybody, man.
Yeah, well, then, you know, my mom had skin cancer, and they've had to go and cut it out, and it's come back a couple times, had to cut it out. So, like, and then me, Matt, and Mark talked, and Luke, and we feel real strongly about it. And I feel like any kind of cancer, if you're going through it, like, you shouldn't have to fight it alone. You know, like, I don't know Jimmy like everybody else does, and we're no relation. But I guarantee you that Wildcard Wrestling is going to do everything we can to raise money for this man.
And that's everything. Good.
100% of the proceeds from all the sponsors, from the show and everything, go straight to him. Wildcard Wrestling is not taking nothing whatsoever. Nothing. We're not taking a penny. All of my normal crew, we all talked about it. They was all gun-ho on, yes, we're going to do this. And I went as far as saying I have an open door policy. Let me kind of speak on that. When I say I have an open door policy, to me, when you run a benefit show, I don't care if it's MCW, I don't care if it's Legacy, I don't care if it's TIWF, I don't care if it's TNR. I don't care. Like, I have an open door policy. Anybody that wants to work on this show Friday, March the 20th for Mr. Jimmy, the doors are open. I don't care if we've had problems in the past. Let that shit go. This is for a good cause. This man deserves this. So anybody that wrestles around Arkansas, Missouri, or Tennessee, or even farther, If you want to come and do this show because you feel some kind of way about it, you're more than welcome to. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm not just going to put you in a match. For example, let's say 187 and Serpent come to the show. On their match, they're going to be announced 187 and Serpent from MCW Osceola, Arkansas.
Right.
I'm going to announce anybody that comes from a different show from their show on my mics.
Yeah, I think that's the way. Well, I think that's the way to do it, man. And working with your community, man. I see so many wrestling companies, little upshot companies. They go into these towns and they milk them. They milk all they can get out of them and don't put nothing back into the town, into the community. And that's one of your first mistakes right there. If you're trying to run wrestling in a certain town, embrace your community, man. Embrace the people. Help the community out, because they're going to take notice of that, man, and they're going to want you to be around. They're going to want to have you there.
What's crazy, like we run Rector, we pretty much call Rector Wildcard's home. Then people know us. We go over to City Hall and talk to them. We go run around, and every Tuesday, Luke and Matt get out, and they're owners. Every Tuesday they get out in Cade, my boy Cade, and they poster from Kennett all the way to Jonesboro, Piggott, Corning. They poster everything on foot. So we've got to know the people around Rector. You know, we go there. That's our home. That's going to remain our home. But we do stuff with them too. Like we're going to do a chili cook-off with them. We're going to enter as wild card. We're going to do the chili cook-off with them. And like they invite us to stuff. They invite us to festivals. And who was the guy trying to become the judge in Piggott? Mike Patterson. He sponsored a show for us. He's actually going. He's trying to get elected for the judge in Piggott. What?
He won.
Oh, did he win?
Yeah, he won.
Well, he won, but he sponsored the show. We pushed his name out there. We put up flowers, posters, and everything, and announced him. Like, so we try to help as much as we can. And then we do a lot of stuff with FCC here in Kennett, where I live, which is a behavioral health center. Okay. We do a bunch of stuff with them. They come to our shows every time. They get one outing a month, and that one outing a month, they want to come and see Wildcard Wrestling.
Yeah, man. Mark Manley does the same thing in Missouri. He's got there's a house for special needs people, and they bring their whole house to certain shows.
Yeah.
Mark has a whole section kind of sectioned off for them, and there's like 40, 50, 60 of these people, and they have the best time at the wrestling matches, man. It's so much fun for them.
I told them, them people, they come from that home. It's about the same group you're talking about. They come from that home, and I promise you, to me, it's like seeing the old KAW crowd.
Right. They're crazy, man. They have a blast.
They come up, and they'll beat on the ring, and they're standing at the rope with their heads leaned over the rope, and they're in the worker's face, and like, they get into it, and it takes me back to when I first started wrestling, when everybody looked at this like, oh, like, these dudes ain't playing around.
Right. Look, Autumn says, man, if there's going to be an auction, let her know, and she'll make some cupcakes and stuff and some pies.
Who did?
Autumn.
Oh, Autumn?
Yeah.
We thought about doing something. I know we're going to try to do something at the April show for the kids for Easter.
Right.
We kind of thought about doing like hiding eggs in the building and letting the kids pick one of the wrestlers to go around with them and help them get the eggs and stuff like that.
That'll be real cool. I've actually got some graphics, dude. I've got some April graphics and stuff. I kind of just went and scavenged what I could. But the first one I want to bring up, I want you to talk to us a little bit about your talent. And these are your champions right now. So tell us a little bit about each one of these guys. I know a little bit about William Alexander. I know Blaze Ray pretty well. Jason Dugan, don't know him personally. Seen some of his work, but tell us a little bit about these guys, man.
Well, so William Alexander is he's a hell of a talent. He was trained by Chase Stevens and Thorne over in Tennessee. He actually runs the show. That's who we're going to work for in Clarksville. Man, he's the people hate him. He loves himself. he's the old school, just cocky champion. He's good. He's good at what he does.
Hey, that's the mark of a good heel, man. Loving yourself,
man.
man.
Like, for sure, he for sure believes his own hype. Like, I love the kid to death. I got to work him. Me and him had a street fight in Rector, and you could ask everybody in the crowd. We had about 150 people follow us from the building outside the parking lot, stood outside in the freezing cold. We thumped each other up pretty good. I threw him through his car windshield. It was pretty good time.
Well, let me ask you something about William. Does he do some acting?
Yes.
Does he?
No, yeah. Okay.
Nashville.
Yeah, he was on 911 Nashville. He was a pervert trying to pay for coochie.
Well, there you go, man. But I thought that I'd seen a couple of posts he made, and it led me to believe that he was doing some acting too. And he's working a lot of different places. I see him on a lot of different posters on up in Tennessee and stuff too.
Oh man, he's well traveled. I mean, I give him that. Like, they go down to Nashville, and he does his own show in Clarksville. Like, he's all over. Like, he's traveled.
Look, Mark McGee says, let's have Matt Bowman Jr. dress as the Easter Bunny for the Easter show, man.
Hey, that would be a big ass Easter bunny. No, like, as far as the champion stuff goes, like, we had Jason Dugan. Jason Dugan's a great talent, but here's the thing. We had to strip Jason of the heavyweight belt due to scheduling conflicts with his show, because Jason Dugan runs ALW in Florida.
Okay.
So we had scheduling conflicts with Jason, so we had to strip him of the belt and had to pull him from the show. If you ever get a chance to book Jason Dugan, book him. Well, if you run an independent show in Arkansas, Tennessee, or Missouri, and you get a chance to book Jason Dugan, book him.
Well, let's talk about that the situation for a second. Like, he's your champion. You put your belt on an out-of-town guy, and then you got booking conflicts, man. So what's your thoughts on that, man? Because, I mean, it kind of puts the company in a bad situation to have to just strip a guy. Does that make you think twice now about putting belts on guys that are not around this area and that you know are going to be there on a regular basis?
I'm going to say no, but right here's why. The booking conflict was on my end. I should have been better in tune with him.
Okay.
With me knowing he's been a booker, but in the turnaround, I feel like your heavyweight champ should be at every show.
I do too.
He's your marquee. He's your headline. He's your show. And not saying against anybody else, but like, your heavyweight champ should be, you know what I'm saying? Like, he should be out there in the forefront, pushing his name, getting himself over, even when there ain't a show. But yeah, the thing with Jason Dugan, man, it was more of a scheduling conflict on my end. It was my bad. And I went with my committee. We all sat down and talked. And the amount of shows that Jason was going to have to miss, we couldn't leave the belt on him.
Right. Yeah, I understand that fully, man.
He wouldn't know, like, he wouldn't ask about it. He understood. Later on down the line, if we can get something worked out with him, we're going to try. So on the 3rd of April in Rector, Arkansas, the belt will be held up, and I have Citizen Kane versus Rage, which Rage was the #1 contender, and Citizen Kane would be the next in line under Rage. So it will be Citizen Kane versus Rage, April 3rd, Rector, Arkansas, for the Wildcard heavyweight champ.
Be a good match, man. What about Blaze Ray, man? We all know Blaze. He been hurt for several years, man, and then out of nowhere, I see he's starting to wrestle again about 6-7 months ago. So what about Blaze, man? Tell us a little bit about Blaze.
I've known Blaze. I knew Blaze when he was a fan. I knew him when he was doing music at the shows. I've known the kid for years. He's a good kid, him and his brother. They did a lot of shows for Golden Boy. What's Golden Boy's?
Pro Wrestling
Mid-South. Sorry about that, Golden Boy. They did a lot of stuff with Golden Boy, and Golden Boy's helped them kids tremendously. And, you know, Blaze got hurt and he wanted to come back. And he said, I know I can't go back into regular wrestling action like I was, but I want to give my hand at hardcore. And I was like, you got to be a special breed to do that.
Right.
And obviously he's that special breed.
He's got
I've seen that kid take hell of ass whoopings with crutches and trash cans and chairs and cars.
Damn cars, though. Cars. You gonna have to explain that one, Zane.
He's actually ran somebody over with the car at a show.
I remember y'all caught a little video of that. I remember that now that you say that. Damn,
it was like to the point where he hit the dude with the car hard enough that they was going to kick us out of the building.
Hey, he's got that lead foot, man. You know what I mean? He got that foot with all that metal in it and
look,
stuff.
So, I mean, he's, man, the thing with Blaze, he's been with Wildcard for a while. Since I've been there, you can't ask for, respect-wise, you can't ask for a better person. He shows up show on time. He doesn't fight and argue about what he's asked to do. He's always polite. He always goes above and beyond. He's a good kid.
Yeah, I like Blaze, man. He's been on the podcast several times. I think he was a co-host with me one time when I first started. Look, Jason Vaughn's in here. He says he misses you, Roy.
That's my boy right there. I seen him Friday.
He said Roy's one of the few. One of the few that for shoot know me. Jason said that.
Yeah, see, y'all know the Fury Jason Vaughn. I know Bam Bam. and he knows what I'm talking about. I know Bam Bam. But no, like Jason, man, Friday night, I can't wait to see you, brother. And I'm glad Jason come on board. Jason's a tremendous talent, has been for years. And besides Jason being a talent, he's a veteran. I got the utmost respect for Jason Vaughn. And even if he wasn't working my show, he would be more than welcome anytime the doors was open.
Yeah, Jason's a good dude, man. Hard working motherfucker. Every time I see his ass, he's out in the field doing something, fixing something.
Oh, he's no country ass out shooting them horses and
That's
shit.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Long.
That motherfucker's like Mongo from Blazing Saddles, man. He'll punch that fucking horse in the side of the head. So look, talk to us about this match because this is April 3rd too. And I see you're actually going to be wrestling. Before we even get into this match, how much wrestling do you plan on doing, Zane? Are you back?
Man, this tag team thing with Luke, me and Luke's we're going to do this tag team thing for a while. And the only reason I ain't on the wild card more is because I like making the show and sitting in the back and watching what I made to see what I need to critique myself on.
Right, I agree with that. I'm the same way, man. That's the only way you can really keep hold of your show. It's hard to stay on top of your show if you're out in the ring. If you remember back when we were doing Arkansas Championship Wrestling in Paragould, everybody would fuck with me because my matches were always so short. Well, you got to get back. You got to get it done and get back so I can make sure everything else we got going on is going the way it's supposed to. So look,
for sure.
I know a lot about the headliners. I don't know anything about what are these guys called?
Who is that on the end?
Custom made.
Custom made. That is
Supreme Wrestling out of Indiana.
They're from Supreme Wrestling out of Indiana. It's Eric Draven, right? Eric Draven. I for sure. I'm pretty sure he runs it. Eric Draven is well known around Indiana and Tennessee. Up in Ohio. He was in Power Pro back in the day. They run a hell of a little tag team, him and his partner does. And so I reached out to him about coming in. So like you got me and Luke, our tag team name's The New Era. Then you got Quicksilver and him. I love Quicksilver. He's another kid I call him a kid, man, because I've been in the business so long and he's, you know what I'm saying? But just his respect level is through the roof. He'll do anything he's got to make the show better.
The headliners period. Lane Broadway's a good kid too.
Yes, for sure.
He did a benefit. We did a benefit at the TIWF building back in November, I think. And good kid, man. Listened well. Done what you ask of him. They're a hell of a team, man. The headliners, they've been teaming solid now for probably about a year and a half, I would say. And man, they're really a solid ass tag team.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, old boy and them from Indiana, they trained with Danny Davis and them. Like they're a good tag team, man. It's gonna be a hell of a triple threat tag match for sure. For sure.
Look,
But
Cordell's in here talking about how ugly we are, man. Cordell, man, you glad, man? Don't break all the mirrors in your house, man.
well, let's go back that we was talking about families a while ago of wrestling. Cordell, Aaron, and Red. That's like me, my dad, and Psycho, or that's like Sarge and them, or even Biscuit and Galen and Joe and them. Like they're just a family of wrestlers, man, and they're a hell of a family of wrestlers. Cordell, from when I was working with them every weekend back in 2018 and 19, him and Aaron from then to now is day and night. Like
right, man.
Day and night.
Yeah, both of them are.
Yeah, then Red, man, like that, you couldn't ask for a better mentor. Their dad, Big Red, he's the hell of a wrestler, and even Chris Rocker, the whole family is just outstanding athletes. And then,
yeah, when you say wrestling royal family around West Tennessee, you got to include the Robertsons.
Yeah, and what's crazy is like people look at Gage or Aaron, my bad. They look at Aaron and they look at Cordell and they see their size and they're like, "Oh, these dudes this." But then when they get in the ring, like your mouth drops. You're like, Aaron's what, 300 something pounds, and he looks like he weighs 125 pounds.
420 pounds. 420 pounds. That's the wrong graphic.
And what's crazy is like when he climbs through the ropes, he's just like I said, your mouth drops because you don't expect that shit from somebody that size.
Yeah, and here's the thing: a lot of big guys, they do a few moves in burst, and then you watch them, they got to rest. Aaron's not like that, man. The match is consistent all the way through, and Cordell's the same way, man. I mean, both these kids been wrestling since they were 13 years old and been playing in the ring long before that, man. And you couldn't learn from nobody better, which both of them, Sarge O'Reilly trained them. I was fixing to say you can't learn from nobody better than Red Rocker, but both kids said that Sarge really played a bigger role in training them than anybody else did.
Well, I mean, they got the best of both worlds. They trained with Sarge, then traveled around with Chris and traveled around with Red, so they got to learn all aspects of the business at, like you said, 13, 14 years old.
Right. Yeah, man, they're definitely one of the royal families around West Tennessee. Talk to me about this match. This is an April 3rd match too coming up?
Yes, that's J3. Who's J3 working?
He is working.
J3 is J3's the up and comer. He's a real good kid. He runs with Tim Hansen and them.
He's a Sermo trainee
from the Hansen family dynasty. He's the Sermo trainee. I've had the kid with me for a couple months at my shows, and he's down for whatever. He comes in, he'll get with me. I'll tell him who's working. I'll throw a time limit on it, and I let him run with it. And the kids, he's showed out for me. He's really showed out. The people starting to react to him really good. They're starting to see who he is and what he's about. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do for Wildcard in the future. And then the kid that's working him is who? Supreme guy. He's from Indiana too. They brought him down, told us he's a hell of a worker. So I figure Indiana style wrestling, our style of wrestling is two different things. We'll put them in there together and see what we can come up with.
Might have magic, man. You might just have magic out of that, man.
Yeah, and I mean it's two young bucks new to the business. So, they got that, new through the door energy, and they're wanting to go, and I'm cool with that.
Right. That's what you need, man. You got to have these, you need young guys that are hungry and actually want to be in this business and want to learn this business. Let's talk about this matchup, man. These two, they're already somewhat into a feud, right? Ain't Jennifer and Alexa kind of been going at it? Man,
like I said, Jennifer has been a standout for Wildcard. Alexis is up and coming, but she's making her name for herself. And right here's the thing with that. Alexis coming in and making a name for herself, she thought that Jennifer would be a good one to make a name off of, and Jennifer's trying to make it hard for her. Man, our last show, they fought tooth and nail. I'm talking about, like, it was back and forth. It's going to be a hell of a match. Alexa, she runs around with William Alexander and their manager, and they kind of gooned Jennifer after the match and jumped on her. Me and Luke had to come out there and make the save. But man, you never know what's going to happen this show with them. You know, obviously, Alexis's people feels like that she can't beat Jennifer head up. Alexis feels like she can, so I guess we're going to find out the third.
Hey, that's a tough road to hoe there with Jennifer Justice for Alexis, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. How long's Alexis been in the business?
How long's a year? Like a year, maybe over a little bit over a year.
Yeah, that's a hell of a. That'd be a hell of a feather in her cap to knock Jennifer Justice off.
It's the same way with Alexis. So if you look at her pedigree, her background, you know, her father's Kilo, her sister's Autumn Marie, her brother's D'Lo. So I mean,
I wasn't gonna say all that, but since you did, yeah, she's got it in her blood, man.
Hey, she comes from a hell of a wrestling family, like Cordell and them, or like me, or like Eric Hayes. Like she's got the pedigree behind her. Like, yeah. So
she's got it in her blood. I wasn't gonna say all that. I was gonna kayfabe that, but since you said it all, I'm glad you did, man, because I first seen her as a referee in EIW a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, hell, been 6 years ago now, probably 2020, 2021. She would come in and she would referee some of the matches, man. So she's definitely got it in her blood. I'm glad to see her finally deciding to step into the ring kind of full time and be active.
Well, I mean, right here's like I told Autumn, I said, look, you know, after you have that baby, she's probably going to whoop that ass for how mean you was to her growing up. So Autumn Marie better watch out for Alexis Jade because it might be a big problem after she has this baby.
You got me interested in this matchup. I know me and my brother, hell, he's 70, I'm 52, and we still liable to fight, man. You can't never tell. So you got me interested in this match, Zane. So look,
yeah, for sure.
Is there any other talent you want to talk about and plug?
Who else we got coming
before we start wrapping it up, dude?
Well, I mean, you know, we got Zach O'Brien coming in. Zach's a hell of a talent. I got Brian Tucker, Dale Tucker's son. He is a hell of an up and comer. The kid can work. He's good. I got him coming back. I got Tattoo and Chris Lex coming in. That is a hell of a tag team.
Right. A lot of experience there.
Yes.
Those guys know how to get it done.
Yes.
Good for your young guys. Good for some of your young guys to work with those guys.
I got Jabari Young and them, Ty Miller and them coming in. They're hell of a youngsters. What's Rutgers boy?
Huh?
Preston Blake. He does some work for me. He's a hell of a talent. I got him coming in. I got Galen Ray coming in. I want to bring Galen in and Zach in because they got more experience. So I figure they can help out the younger guys a little bit and point them in the right direction.
Yeah, Galen's a hell of a wrestler too, man.
Galen can fucking biscuit.
Yeah, I mean, but Galen, when you look at him, you wouldn't think he could do all the shit he can do. Galen can fucking do. Galen can do everything there is to do in the ring.
For sure. I got Bull Bronson coming in from Illinois. I got Cordell Roberts. He's going to come and do some work with me. Man, like, we're shaping up to have a pretty good roster. Like, outside my normal guys. Who?
T-Pain, $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, I got T-Pain and $1 Million Baby coming in.
Babyface or heel? Because I know they're bad guys up in this part of the country now. So I've always since I've been around those guys, I've been wanting to see a heel $1 Million Baby, and we're finally starting to see it, man.
I'm just gonna let you know at Wildcard you're gonna see heel $1 Million Baby.
I think that could be magic there, man. I've seen her she's been a babyface the whole time I've seen her, and man, in the back of my mind, I've always thought, man, what would she be like as a heel? So I'm dying to really see her get in there and see a lot of her as a heel.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like I said, man, don't sleep on Wildcard. You know what I'm saying? If you're out here and you're watching this, if you had a problem in the past, we're over that shit. We're all men. Let it be gone. Let's put this stuff together, man. Let's all work together and make some shit happen. As far as the Rector Show goes, Wildcard Wrestling presents Fighting Cancer with Mr. Jimmy Wayne Householder. 100% of proceeds go to Jimmy. March 14th, 20th, 2026. 740 East 9th Street, Rector, Arkansas. Doors open 6:30. Bell time 7:30. Don't miss it. You are not going to want to miss this show. From the beginning of the bell to the last bell, we're going to set the community center on fire to show Mr. Householder that he does have people fighting with him. Cancer ain't nothing to mess with. Everybody knows that. Nobody should have to go through it alone, and Wildcard is not going to let him go through it alone. Open door policy. If you want to get on this benefit show, if you walk through the doors at 6:30 at Wildcard in Rector and you say you want to wrestle, you will be put on the card. You will be announced from your home show. Anybody's welcome. We would love to have you. April 3rd, Rector, Arkansas. We cannot wait. We crown a new wild card champion. And what people does not know is Wildcard Wrestling just received we had a custom heavyweight title belt made. Been waiting on it for months now. It finally come in. So on the 3rd, we will crown a new Wildcard heavyweight champion. Man, we're taking off. Get on while you can. Get on when you want. We love to work with anybody. Come and see it, man. The 20th, Luke Justice will be there. Jason Vaughn will be there. I'll be there. Citizen Kane will be there. Jennifer Justice, Alexis Jade will be there. D-Lo's will be there. Man, we got people coming out of the woodworks. It's something we feel strongly about. I hope we can get everybody behind us to feel strongly about it too and come up and support Mr. Jimmy. If there's nobody else that deserves the support, it's Jimmy Householder. Like I said, I've never heard a bad word about that man from anybody that I've talked to so far. So we're going to try our hardest to pack this place out for him.
Right. And that's what it's all about, man. Sounds like y'all got a stacked lineup already, and you know how benefits are. You done put it out there. They definitely gonna be some people show up. So
we hope, man, for sure.
How many matches do you got like kind of laid out already? How many matches you figure just right now is gonna be on this card?
We got as of now, we got 6.
6. So there's a good chance that could definitely turn to 8.
No, because right here's my deal. The doors open at 6:30. Bell time 7:30. If people start rolling in, I'll move bell time up 30 minutes. I don't have no problem doing that. Or we'll extend the show for 30 minutes or whatever, because we've been priding ourselves on our show starts at 7:30 on the money, and we've been out of the building by 10 o'clock. Our show gets over about 9:45, so we're roughly going about 2 hours and 30 minutes from start to finish.
That's a good time right there. That's a perfect time frame for a wrestling show. Keep the pacing up on it. Your time's right. Your match is right. 2.5 hours is for a normal wrestling show. 2.5 hours is perfect, man.
Oh, for sure. And man, to get back to you, Buster, man, I greatly appreciate it. And on behalf of Wildcard, we greatly appreciate you bringing me on the podcast to help support the show. And you are more than welcome to any show we ever have. And kudos to you on the KAW return, man. I can't wait to see how it goes.
Man, I appreciate all that. I appreciate the invite. Like I told you, there will be a time I'm in Arkansas while y'all are running the show. And if I'm there, the wife will go visit her family. I'm coming to the wrestling. You know that. I'm going to wrestling somewhere. So I don't know when it'll be, but we'll definitely make that happen. And, man, I appreciate you so much with the KAW thing, dude.
For sure. Because, I mean, dude, I loved going to KAW when I was a kid. I was a kid running around with a kick-ass wrestling shirt on, and you know how it was. I'd be trying to wear that shit to school and everywhere else and getting in trouble. So, but yeah, man, hey, when you see your brother, tell him I said, hey, I ain't got to see Sam in years, man. I'd love to see Sam.
Man, if you can get his ass out of the house or get him out of Helena, Arkansas, you can get him out of the house. It's hard to get him out of Helena, man. I'll be honest with you. It is, man. You want to plug your sponsors one more time before we get out of here, Zane?
Yeah, man, for sure. I want to give a special thanks on behalf of Wildcard Wrestling to Tinsley's Excavating and Dumpster Rental, Grateful Heads, Portersville, Missouri, Little Norvell Race in Paragould, Arkansas. Brian Norvell, Mohawks Garage out of Piggott, Arkansas. M&M Karaoke, Mimi Sweet Treats. Y'all hit her up on Facebook, her Mimi Sweet Treat page. Send it a like, follow, and a share. SDM Pawn Shop, Guns and Music, Paragould, Arkansas. Scared City Haunted House out of Jonesboro, Arkansas. Y'all give them a shout out. Check them out. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts for riding with us this whole time and being amazing sponsors. Y'all's just not sponsors to Wildcard. You are part of the family.
Zane, man, I am glad to see Wildcard starting to take off like it is, man. I wish you guys nothing but future success, dude. I'm glad to see you back in the wrestling business, man. You seem fired up to me, dude. I like to see that, man. You seem like you're excited.
Because, man, we got so much stuff in the works over the next couple months. We got some fairs lined up. We've been working on some stuff with Jonesboro's Children's Hospital. Like, we're trying to get some stuff going, man. Like, we're Wildcard Wrestling, and quote me when I say this, Wildcard Wrestling is going to make waves in 2026.
I'm glad to hear you talk like that, Zane. Look, man, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate y'all wanting to promote Wildcard on here, man. I will get with you, dude, and we'll set up something for the end of May or early June. I want to get you back where it's just me and you can kind of tell your whole story, your dad's story, and everything. Man, y'all have a great night, and I wish y'all all the luck in the world Friday night, Zane.
You too, brother. Y'all have a great day. And like I said, everybody come and check us out. Don't meet us there. Beat us there.
There you go. Take it easy, my brother.
Thank you, Bubba.
All right, y'all. You seen it right there. Zane Richards, Wildcard Wrestling. This Friday night, Rector, Arkansas. Go to this show. Support this show. It's for a great cause. I mean, look, we know how expensive the cost of living is, plus medical bills. If you can imagine what groceries and gas cost, imagine what medical bills are. So go support this show. They got a stacked lineup already, and there's no telling who you might see just pop in. Rector, Arkansas, go check it out. If you're anywhere around Rector, be sure to go there and see this show and support Wildcard Wrestling. Look, guys, I'll be back Wednesday night with Big Daddy Devin Graves, and it's all about Nonstop Wrestling Alliance. This Wednesday, 7 p.m. You do not want to miss it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank everybody. I want to thank each and every one of you who interacted with us. And y'all be sure to tune in Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Till then, y'all take it easy.
When you hear that Buster H.R. Oh, man, it's about to go down. You feel the tension in the air. Wrestling fans all over the world, get ready for this right here. They're gonna have a field day with this one. You're about to witness Buster Unmasked. There's no telling what Buster's gonna say today. We just getting started. Just getting started. Welcome.